What's up, Panda? What you doing? I see you out there. There it is. Where's you going? Did you come in to test boost clocks? Alright. Well, we've got our Asus here hooked up to a 1300. Pandemonium's come to help us out. It's pretty wild timing. I don't think this picks up on camera. Maybe... No, I'll have to call that out manually with my voice. So we're gonna get some very general boost clocks and see what kind of efficiency we can get. So these numbers aren't real, but I stole the format from some previous tests for other things that are here. A lot of stuff's on its own computer. So what are some updates? So Oris, I did go ahead and move those gigabyte control centers to UEFI, and then from the last video I've done nothing different here, although I should check for a BIOS update, see what's up with that. So I'm going to pair those up on an 850 so they can share that. And we'll get this boosted. So I've only done efficiency tunes on any of these, other than, well, when I get them I run them at full boost with no overclocks, just to stress test, you know, for a couple minutes, make sure. I think that's a good way to make sure the board's not jacked, you know. So alright, well, we'll just plug in a bunch of numbers, get a bunch of crashes, and there'll be a bunch more numbers there in a few minutes. And be interesting with the differences in BIOS, which weren't in AM4. So that being the infinity locks, you know, 1-to-1, half of 1, was that 2-to-1? I'm not sure on that one, but there's like a low power mode. And then what, I think XMP or Expo. So that's new also. So I don't know how super in depth we can get. To wait for my schedule to clear up. It is 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, but got some free time. And Panda, what are you doing, baby? That's my business partner. He keeps the books. Alright, well, let's get going. Oh, quick update, because I never do this and I'll forget. Let's see. So still going here, various ones come on and off at different times. That's chasing our first Monero block in totality, 54%, funky camera. Caspa's still going, so this is just my whatever core algo for the moment. I think we're still hitting overtime. Let's see, somebody else just came on pool today, so we might actually pull off. Yeah, it's time to pull off. Ugh, that's not good. Yeah, only 4 blocks today. Been doing decent here, not breaking the bank. As long as I'm beating electric, I'm fine. So, well, it's actually a pretty slow day too. So the other day I had 30, 20 something, some other days. So, let's see, what did we do? 10, 20. Yeah. So 24 there, that's disappointing. Yeah, slow day. I did hit one Nurai block, just doing some Raven. It started to cool down at night in the garage, so that was fun. I hit that pretty short period of time. It's around $5 or something. And then I had a 4% Raven, so that was nice. I think they're $45-50, something like that. So same way, pretty short period of time, and It's actually what I was just had this chart up for. I think I'm on XNA. Oh, come on, you biscuit. So just kind of seeing what which one to stay on for tonight. So on the left, total network hash rate. Got Narai coming up a bit. And well, that's Nexa. That doesn't do anybody any good. Yeah, and I had already paused at another iteration of 100, so I had 2 garage rigs on that, and I just went ahead and pulled them off. I got to a total of 300, and I haven't had much good luck on Viper the last few months, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But I've just kind of stopped using them for their solo. So yeah, Raven over here and Narai over there. So I will go ahead and switch that over to Raven again, and we'll try to pick up one of these little $45 blocks for. Let's see, what did we pay for that? I think that was a day or two. Yeah, that one's about 800 watts, so it's around $2 a day. Yeah, so that's pretty good return. But mining's dead. Don't tell anybody. Go to the website. Here's my link. Okay, well, let's fill up this chart, and we'll get some efficiencies. And so we did get back into BIOS, and nothing special. I've got PBO off in both places. I think I turned Bluetooth and audio off, and let's see. Yeah, nothing special there. There weren't any low power settings, but I did turn on Expo 1, which was the only option. These will generally come up on base clock. This is through the Asus AI suite. That may be different. You can see the gigabyte version on other videos. But Tech Power Up is a great site to read an article if you've got a new piece of hardware. And I was mainly looking up to see what the boost clock, so 5.6. So we don't want to knock too much higher than that. Not that these aren't like self-protected, but I've never seen the efficiency make any kind of sense at max boost. But we will try it probably. We'll see. So yeah, all right. So now we've got our parameters from a trusted source. We'll do some quick resets. I'm sure because we'll be crashing. But we'll write those down, and the nice thing about doing it here is that there's nothing, for BIOS to need to get locked up on where we would have to clear the CMOS. So that AI suite will clear every time that we crash, and it just makes it a little faster and less hiccups. So all right, well, let's write a bunch of numbers down, and it'll probably be the morning before we see each other again. So until then, well, it is now then. Welcome back. We've got some numbers, and we'll go through some of the BIOS things. I did just reset it, so this is not a good place to pause for these numbers. I'm going to clean this up, but I did get from base clocks to most of the way to boost. I don't want to. You can see this efficiency. I don't want to push that and take any chances. But I did just finish with the PBO portion. So the relevance of that being that I went ahead and reset BIOS to original. And so there was a question in the chat about setting up BIOS for the mining, for the CPU mining in AM5, which I do kind of feel comfortable talking about now. I've got a pretty extensive AM4 and Intel background, but Intels are very hard to overclock. They say it's impossible. It's not, but they're much more difficult in efficiency-wise. They do not touch AM5 and 4, but they're still pretty fun. I'm done rambling for now. Some of the items in this list will be from this Expo 1 for the RAM. So that's putting it up into its boost frequencies. So shifting that to XMP1 or Expo 1. So that includes all of those. I did turn off Precision Boost Overdrive. I do that on the tweaking page, and then I also do that within the advanced page. So those are from the XMP Expo setting. Whoop, oh no, I went too far. That's VDDQ. VDD. Yeah, and so that should be the second PBO off. Maybe, I don't know. But some of these are that, so that's that. So I did turn off above 4G decoding. I do not have a GPU on here. I turned off SATA because I have an M2. I did switch it to power on after power loss. I did turn off audio. I have no use for that. I turned off Wi-Fi because I'm using the LAN. I turned off Bluetooth. I have no use for that. I turned off all LEDs. I turned off the serial port. I have no use for that. I switched graphics to always be the CPU in case I do add a GPU in the future. I run larger coolers, and that allows me to bring the fan speed down, so I did switch that to silent. Oh, there's the second PBO. So yeah, I skipped on that first part. But that is my standard, BIOS settings for AM5 CPU mining. So like without turning on Expo, a lot of those are not going to be on there. So with 4G decoding off, that did remove automatically. What's the one where the GPUs share the RAM? Bippity boppity boo. Resizable bar automatically turns off, whereas in AM4 you could do those separate, but that's why that's not on here. So that is the BIOS settings. So we'll get this booted back up. Good golly, I don't like curve tuning. It's so inefficient. But we'll finish out the below base clocks. And I already have those for another board with the 4800. That one's cleaned up. That's for the Ioras. But we'll finish out the 6000 testing. And before this video turns into 6 hours long, I exaggerate a little bit of a superlative there, but we'll 4800 non-XMP, I might do another video, so I don't know, we'll see. TBD. Let's see. But oh, that's very pretty. Okay, well we're booted up, so we'll get back to locking core now that we're all done with PBO, and we'll have a pausable list in a minute. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. Alright, we're back with our dramatic nighttime effects. So there's kind of where I landed. So I did get this semi-presentably cleaned up. There's kind of our specs. So this is what we did just right out of the box. These I just denoted, and let's see if I can make this less stably, maybe. Yeah. So it peaked out at 262 watts, pretty wild. So all of this was done on XMP, like it's done earlier. So here are the tune numbers. So these are just voltage and there we go, just voltage and frequency with XMP enabled, and so they would give me some of the efficiencies here. So that's up to boost, and I didn't want to max out. I probably could have, but 1.3 is kind of where I start to feel nervous, even though they can go beyond that. I'm just really conservative with hardware. I don't want to damage it. So, one thing I found interesting, so this is an XMP tune, Expo, whatever you want to call it, turned up RAM. You can see the efficiencies obviously drop drastically around max clock. But what I didn't do is go below 3.6. So you can kind of see as the frequency came down, I was able to push the maximum or the minimum voltage, I guess. You can kind of see we started to peak on base efficiency in this little window here. And so that's kind of the sweet spot that I wanted to roll with, 3.9 to 365. And once again, that's just frequency and voltage. And then so I come, oh no. So sorry for the poor quality. I am not a streamer. But I'll try to get some free info out. So up here, kind of played around with 385, 3.9, and so I began to add in SoC. I did go back into BIOS, and there was a low power setting. This is the Windows power setting, within Windows and balanced. So generally pretty stable. Once I started to adjust anything, it was just unstable every time. And so it gave me a little bit counterintuitive. Actually, what I needed to do was drop the voltage, or drop the clock, excuse me, and bring up voltage, just 1. And so even though those numbers were very stable, with, you know, automatic SoC and DDR and all that stuff, or VDD, excuse me. Once I started to manually set some of those, it got very, very finicky. So this one was a little bit of a, well, I don't know what you would call it, but it was surprising. At 48 hours in, it did go ahead and crash. I thought that was pretty stable. So I ran this one for 96, and we're pretty good. So I then kept this setting as my stable base. Played around from there, and so the first thing I dropped down was SoC. I pulled it down to 950, immediate crash, 955, 960, and so forth, and a little bit longer on each crash. So 960, it did not crash, and so I just went ahead and pulled that up 1. It was at the expense of almost no watts at the wall. And the only other setting that really made much of a difference was here. So 118 on that one. I was not able to adjust much at all within VDD. I think because of the way that this manages the Expo. So pretty much any adjustment there made almost no difference in voltage, or it just crashed it immediately. So when I do get all done, which I haven't done yet, so you're along for the ride here on this one, is the little button on the power supply, and you can set that to like eco mode or something like that. And when I do that, it comes down to 94.1. So we can do our final math here together. And I don't do that for all of them. I just do that at the end. So oh no, I've typed too fast. So we'll take our hash rate here, 14,395. I like to do these in kilohash. I just think it's a little cleaner. And then we'll take our 94.1. Hey, 153. That's pretty good. Let's see, 297. Okay, we'll save that. Let's see, and then here were the PBO numbers. So if you're relegated to that, or maybe you do other things on the machine, if you want that, there's probably some more to be had there. I don't generally like PBO, so I'm sure I stopped early. But yeah, that's my 7900X boost clocks on a B650 from Asus Prime Plus. So pretty fun. Alright, as far as the earlier, where we were talking about whether to stay on, let's see. With Raven, so I previously hit the 7% Raven and then a 4% Narai, and I did end up staying on Raven and snatched up a couple of more $40 blocks at very low expense. I think that averaged out to 3 blocks. Did we get one of these yet? Not yet. We're getting there. We're working on it. We don't have the whole CPU farm on it, but pretty good chunk of it. Hey, half of it. Yeah, half of it's chasing. Yeah, so Raven was the good call there, and that's, you know, not much expense. These are all 1660s, all my touring. So these are 5-card 1660 rigs. That's a 4-card 2060 rig. So let's see, that was all done within a week. So I guess we could do some quick math. So the top one is about 300 watts. The last 3 are 400 apiece. So that's 1500 watts, which is 1.5 kilowatts. I'm at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, and there's 24 hours in a day, so that does make it nice. So that's 360 per day. When did we hit this first one? Let's see, that was on the 28th. Oh no. Today is the 8th, so 8, 9, 10. We weren't on all of those days. We're on about 8 of those days. Not all those rigs were on for those 8 days either, but we'll just know this is an overestimate. 8, so yeah, there you go. So in about 1 week's time, I spent $30 on electricity, got about 120 in Raven. That doesn't include, what else did those hit? Those rigs hit a Narai and something else. So definitely want to check out Solo, definitely want to hop around different nodes, definitely run your own node. There's advantages to that as well. I would be skeptical of any dogma that says you need to go one way or the other, because mining is not static nor monolithic. I will have to say that until I'm red in the face, without rouge. But I will say it till the day I die, because I've done this for multiple years, just solo mining, just timing nodes, multiple videos on it on the channel, and I have grown. Well, I mean, I'm not a baller. I'm paycheck to paycheck. A lot of times, certain months, bills don't get paid, you know. I do like to live. I don't work myself to death. But you know, I grew this entire farm from my yields since the ETH merge. So I have no money. There's no 401k. There's no anybody to get a loan from. This is all yield. So you know, I've done this through the bear market with no coin to carry us. And done that through trying out just about every possible way to mine, because I was in a situation where if I failed, I failed. There is no backdrop. There is no net. There is no other. You know, you get so. All right. Well, that is where we've been. It looks like it was a good decision to stay on Raven. So. We'll see how these other decisions play out, but we're well ahead for the year. We're well ahead for over last year. And we'll keep on keeping on. I will share everything I know that works and try to help you be better, much as others have tried to help me be better. So, all the best to each and every one of you. And we'll keep on smashing these blocks. We'll keep on testing these efficiencies. And yeah, I'm very excited about these efficiencies. So if you're not familiar, these are on a different motherboard, but these are the non-boost clocks, or excuse me, non-boost clock, also with no XMP. So it is rather easy within Windows without many settings to get 170 hash per watt on these. So we'll keep going. Alright, all the best, mining fam. I'll stop rambling, and maybe we'll get some sleep tonight. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just keep doing this. Time will tell. Alright. Peace.